Hello, Jovish. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Fine, thank you. You know, I'm very glad to see you here because I have a question regarding a student who just graduated. He wants to start working and he wants to know what would be a good salary for him to ask in his company. So he asked me for help, and I want you to help us if you can.
Yes, but we need some information, no? We can make a prediction of what will be the salary of a person working in a company, but we need a data set or...
Yes, you know, I have another friend who works at a company, and I asked him. He was very kind to give me a data set which has some information that I think maybe my student can work with. This is the data set. Let me show it to you.
Okay, so he want to analyze the salary. He want to predict the salary, but there are some missing information. Okay, so in gender, missing information, age. Okay, first of all, we have to have a data set super clean.
What do you mean with clean?
Okay, one option, this is gender, is a categorical variable. So female, male, female, male, female, male. Okay, there is no any inconsistency. I see only a missing data. So you have to make assumption this is the salary of a male or female, or you have to drop this row.
Okay.
And again in salary, let me check. Salary, I see this is a numerical variable, 1300. Everything is consistent, but not this one. So maybe you can drop this row or replace this value with the average of this one, or replace this with mode of this column.
Okay.
So we cannot use a data set, it is not clean. So you have to do the same for age and place and weight and company and everything. You see place, I understand 1, 2 and 3, even though it is no numbers, it is not a number, it is a category. Maybe it is a region 1, region 2 and region 3. So you have to take care, this is a categorical variable even though it is number. So these are the initial precautions you have to take in mind. No? Moreover, he want to predict the salary based on all the variables or in some particular variables?
No, first of all, let me see if I understood. So for the categorical variables, we have to use the mode to impute, to fill out the missing data. Yes, is that correct?
Okay, that is a good strategy.
And then for the numericals, we can either use the average or the mode also, or the median maybe, I don't know.
First you can analyze this variable and you analyze which is the best option to impute this row.
Okay, perfect. So he told me to begin with, let's just start saying we want to predict the salary based on his age. Right now he is 24 years old.
So he want to predict the salary based on age. This prediction we can make based on regression. Have you heard that regression anywhere before?
I think I heard about it, like linear regression. So I was thinking in some line or something like that.
Yes, linear regression basically a line as you said before. So we can represent like this, j is equal to mx plus b. You know what is j is equal to mx plus b?
I think m has to be with the inclination or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the inclination.
The slope. Inclination and the slope.
Exactly.
And what is b?
B, I remember it's the intercept. So
the intercept.
When x is 0.
X is 0, this intercept is b, and this point is x and b. Basically, this is the line, no?
Okay.
So here we have two things. We understand b is a constant, and this is the constant, and m is the slope.
Okay.
What do you mean by slope?
What is it?
When x changes 1 unit, how much changes y?
Okay, so the base is x. So I would say how much y changes when I change 1 unit of x. Okay, great.
So m is impact of x in y, or the slope.
The slope. Okay, great.
So what is x?
X is the value.
X-axis, no?
Yes, the x-axis. So in this case, it would be, for example, for this orange dot would be 2, and then y would be like 1.3, 1/3 something.
So, so you understand everything here, no?
Yes.
So j is the dependent variable and x is the independent variable.
Okay,
you understand what is dependent variable and independent variable?
I think independent is the one that takes on any value, and the
here x you can take any value from here.
Any value, and then y will depend on what value has x has.
So m and b basically constant. There is no any changes.
Okay, great. So in this equation, x is the independent variable, meaning it can take on any value it wants, right?
Okay.
And then y will take on the value depending on that x,
Okay.
because m and b are constants,
Constant.
right?
Okay.
So the m, you told me, is the inclination. So
Okay.
what happens when we don't have any inclination?
Okay, so or you want to say what is m is equal to 0?
Yes, exactly.
M is equal to 0 means
Mm-hmm.
there is no any inclination.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can draw a line like this, no?
Okay.
So what happens here? When x equal to 1,
Mm-hmm.
what is the value of j?
2.
When x equal to 2,
Oh, it's always 2.
when x equal to 3,
It's 2 again.
okay. So
Mhm.
when m is
Uh-huh.
0 means x has no any impact on j,
Okay.
or is always j is equal to b.
J is equal to b.
So
Exactly.
in this case, m is equal to 0.
Okay, great. So what does this has to be with to do with the regression that we were talking about? The
Okay. You
regression.
remember regression is a linear equation. So in your case, we can fit an equation
Mhm.
like this to find the salary.
Okay.
Is
Yes.
dependent on what?
On the age.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
So we can put like that. And
Okay.
the age we can plot on x-axis,
Uh-huh.
and the salary we can plot on j.
Oh, I see. Then, for example, in his case, when he is 24, so we are going to look at in this value, right? 24. And then I will go up all the way to the line to see what is the value corresponding to y. So in this case, this would be his salary, right?
Exactly.
And that's the prediction.
Exactly. Okay. So what is your beta 1?
Okay, in this case, beta 1 would be the inclination of the line, meaning the slope, or the effect that the age has on the salary,
Okay.
right?
So what happens beta 1 equal to 0?
Okay, the age has no impact in the salary.
Okay.
Okay,
So what
great.
is the salary?
Mhm.
Always beta 0.
Beta 0, so that would be a constant salary independent of the age. If we go back to the data that they gave me, you see we have more variables. They also have the gender over there, they have the company which he wants to work with, the education. So how can we include all those variables into the prediction?
Okay, that's a good question. So you remember, before we are going to the next question, you have to clean the data set.
Mhm.
You can use your own strategy. Then the simplest option is you can drop the rows of missing data. No?
Okay.
Then you have to take care there are categorical variables.
Yes.
Categorical variables.
Okay, but in here we are going to have categorical variables because we are going to consider the gender and also the company and the education, plus we also will have the age. So how can we include those categorical variables into our model?
Okay, so you have to, first you have to specify your equation very well. So you want to know the salary.
Yes.
That's independent variable. Dependence on which on variables. You have to specify the question first. Then you come with me. Let us see how can we resolve the equation.
So let us go and clean this data and then have a coffee maybe,
Okay,
and then we
thank
come
you.
back to see the model.
Okay.
Great. Thank you, Jovish.